Truax here with your player of the game, number 13 on his jersey, number 1 in everyone's hearts tonight, Kael Lewis. Kael, in the first half alone, 8 for 12, 177 yards, 5 touchdowns to 2 different receivers. What I saw tonight, the first touchdown pass you threw, you put it up, and I said, oh, he's throwing to a covered guy, but you threw him open.
Sir.
Threw him open. Explain what it's like to throw to receivers where you know if you throw it way out there, they're going to come underneath it. What's that like?
It's special. There's not many teams around here that have that, and we're fortunate to have 3 or 4 guys like that where if I just throw it up, I know they're going to make a play.
And you do. And those receivers, I call them the 3-headed monster now, all 6 foot, all about 160 pounds, but they play bigger than they are.
Yeah, they do. They use their body well.
They all block downfield really well. And speaking of blocking, a couple times you got to sit back there and really scan the field with no pressure on you. And listen, Black River had some dudes on the defensive line. They had some beef, but your guys stood up to the test. What was that like, seeing those guys block for you like that?
Well, we knew coming in that they had 2 pretty good defensive ends, and everyone around here was questioning our line. And, I mean, they came out and just took it right to their defensive line. Our offensive line played very well.
You're able to sit back, talk about your offensive line. They give you time to go through your progressions, and the clock is running in your head, right?
Yep.
Next week, you might have to speed that clock up just a little bit, right? Because you got a little different animal in Lucas where you go there and play. They knocked you guys out of the playoffs last year. What's the preparation like going to be this week for that game?
Well, we know they got Hawkins Smith, who's pretty good, and they're very physical. So we know we're going to have to come out and be ready to take it to them, and we're going to have to be ready because they're very, very physical.
Very physical. Now, tonight, I started the show off with talking about Owen Sloan's back, right? He had a huge year last year. And we said, what are they going to do first? Are you guys going to run the ball, establish the run, then go over top, or the other way around? And right away, it was clear. You went over the top, took the top off the defense, made them back up, opened up some gaps for Owen. Owen had a great game up the middle, getting those blue-collar yards. Next week, though, are we going to see? You think we'll see a little more balance, or you think next week we're going to stick with the winning game plan, go up top again?
Well, of course I'm confident in my throwing, so I love to throw it, but I think we'll balance it out a little bit more because we're going to have to against them.
And your defense put up a shutout, goose egg in the first half. They didn't score until the second half when you guys were rotating in some of the younger guys. How many guys do you have playing both ways right now for Hillsdale?
I'm not sure. There's quite a few, but it's very nice to know you have a great defense like that offensively. It takes a lot of pressure off me, knowing that we got first few touchdowns and knowing our defense is going to go out there and stop them.
Now, you threw the ball a lot. You didn't have a whole lot of yards because you guys kept having such great field position every time, and that had to give you a lot of confidence too, right?
For sure. They were like the 20 in punting, and I knew we were going to have very good field position. I knew our offense was going to do our thing. Got
film tomorrow. It's got some things to learn. It's going to be tough film session tomorrow because we got to learn something here. What didn't we do well? I think Coach Klein's going to have a hard time tonight just trying to find something you guys didn't do well to pound into your head because you can't get too high because you got a beast waiting for you next week, and it's a chance for you to you guys try to get even. And I think Adam AT will the OH report be at that game? Hillsdale and Lucas next week? I don't know. we don't know. Hopefully they will. That's going to be a big game next week.
For sure.
All right, folks. That's Kael Lewis.
Shout-outs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kael, give me your shout-outs.
Shout out to 7-Eleven, our wide receivers, our offensive line coaches, and, of course, my family.
Now, speaking of your family, I was talking to one of them, and I asked them, what are they going to do tonight? Are they going to take the top off first, or are they going to run first? He said, no, we're taking the top off right away. He was right.
Yep.
Okay, folks, that's Kael Lewis, your player of the game.